20 hidden signs someone is secretly fighting their feelings for you. Old Stoic Wisdom. The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of. Blaise Pascal. They say the deepest feelings are often the hardest to articulate. It's true that sometimes the people who care the most are the ones who remain the quietest. Despite their efforts to conceal their emotions, the truth tends to reveal itself in subtle ways. Through their actions, the words they leave unspoken, and the internal struggle they endure. Today, we're delving into 20 psychological signs that suggest someone might be silently battling their feelings for you. Pay attention, because you might just uncover the hidden clues you've been intuitively sensing all along. Sign 1. They avoid eye contact but always notice. It's as if their eyes have a secret pact with your presence. They never seem to look directly into your eyes, yet they can always tell when you enter a room. It's a curious phenomenon. You might catch them looking at you out of the corner of their eye, only to quickly turn away when you meet their gaze. This behavior isn't as simple as shyness or disinterest. It's something more. It's what psychologists call avoidant attention. They may act like they're avoiding eye contact, but in reality, they are hyper-aware of your every move. This is an emotional defense mechanism, a way for them to keep a safe distance from the vulnerability that comes with genuine connection. Their heart might long for a deeper bond, but their mind is playing it safe, steering clear of the raw, unprotected emotions that come with opening up. It's a complex dance, one that often leaves both parties wondering if the other even feels the same way. They may try to keep their emotional world closed off, but their actions betray them, revealing that the more they try to hide, the more obvious their feelings become. Sign 2. Their mood changes around you. When you're around, their emotions seem to take on a life of their own. 1 minute, they're calm, collected, almost aloof. The next minute, they're nervously fidgeting, talking too much, or appearing distant and uneasy. This emotional shift isn't some random fluctuation. It's a direct result of suppressed feelings, fighting for release. It's like watching a dam hold back a flood of emotions, and every time you're near, the pressure builds, making them more sensitive, more aware of their inner conflict. Their heart desperately wants to express itself, to reach out and show affection, but their mind keeps slamming the brakes. The psychological tension they feel is like a tightrope walk, balancing the urge to get closer with the fear of being hurt or rejected. They may hide behind an intellectual facade or put on a mask of indifference, but when you're nearby, it's as if they're a puppet controlled by their emotions, rising and falling with every touch of the heart that they're too scared to acknowledge. Sign 3. They ask indirect questions about your love life. You might think they're just casually curious about your romantic life, but these questions aren't random. They're subtle attempts to test the waters. Instead of saying outright, "I like you," they'll ask something like, "So, are you seeing anyone, or I bet you have high standards?" These questions are cleverly disguised as small talk, but in reality, they're emotional checkpoints designed to get a feel for where you stand without having to expose their own heart. They're not asking because they want to know the details of your love life. They're asking because they need to know whether there's room in your heart for them. They want to see if there's a chance, a possibility, however small, that you might feel the same way they do. These little probing questions are their way of navigating the treacherous waters of unspoken emotions, without having to face the fear of rejection that could come with directly expressing their true feelings. Sign 4. They become overly logical around you. Instead of letting their heart guide the conversation, they suddenly turn to logic, reason, and intellect. They may start talking about abstract ideas, throwing out philosophical thoughts, or cracking witty jokes, anything that keeps the conversation emotionally neutral. This behavior is a direct result of their emotional discomfort. Rather than letting their feelings for you show, they create a shield of intellectualism. It's almost as if they believe that if they can appear smart, rational, or emotionally detached, they won't have to confront the deep, raw feelings that are brewing inside them. The truth is, emotions terrify them. Logic, while comforting, serves as their armor against vulnerability. But the more they hide behind reason, the more obvious it becomes that they're trying to mask something far deeper, a longing, a desire, and a fear that they can't quite control. They wish they could simply embrace their feelings for you, but the weight of emotional exposure is just too much to bear. So they hide behind their wit and intellect, hoping that somehow they won't have to admit the truth to themselves or to you. Sign 5. They get jealous but hide it poorly when they see you talking to someone else. It's subtle, but it's there. You might notice a change in their tone when you're talking to someone else, perhaps a hint of sarcasm or a sudden quietness. They'll act like it doesn't bother them, but you can feel the shift. This is one of the clearest signs of hidden affection jealousy. It's not the kind of jealousy that comes from possessiveness or insecurity. It's the jealousy that arises when someone has deep, unspoken feelings for you, but is too afraid to express them. Their jealousy isn't just about you talking to someone else. It's about their unspoken fear that someone else might take what they secretly want your heart. Jealousy is often the mask for longing. They see you with someone else, and for a moment, their mind and heart clash. The mind tells them to stay detached, to hold back, but their heart, it yearns for something more. So, they hide their jealousy with a cold comment or a quiet demeanor. But the truth is, it's a battle they're losing. And each time they suppress their jealousy, it only intensifies their feelings, making them even more aware of what they're hiding. Sign 6. They initiate conversations, but keep them short. Have you ever had them message you with a simple, "Hey," or ask a question just to pull away almost immediately after? It's as if they want to talk to you, but they're afraid of saying too much. This behavior isn't a sign of disinterest, quite the opposite. In fact, it's emotional restraint at its core. They crave your attention, your presence, but they fear what might happen if they let the conversation go on too long. Every word they say is measured, controlled, like a person afraid to dive too deep into the emotional pool. They don't want to reveal too much, too soon. It's as though they're holding back a flood of emotions, keeping it contained so it doesn't spill over into something more vulnerable. It's a delicate balance they're trying to maintain. They want to connect with you, but they're terrified of what that connection might mean. So, they keep it short, they keep it simple, and they keep it safe. But every message, every interaction, is a silent confession of their desire to be closer, to know more, and to share more, yet they still don't know if they're ready to take the plunge. Sign 7. They remember the smallest things about you. This one is often the most telling. When someone remembers the little things about you, the song that makes you smile, the way you take your coffee, the joke you made in passing, it's a sign that they've been paying close attention, not out of mere curiosity, but because their heart is invested. They recall these details, not because they're trying to impress you, but because these details matter to them on a deeper level. It's like a subconscious archive of everything that makes you, you. The smallest things that most people forget become etched in their memory, because when their heart is involved, every little thing you say or do holds meaning. It's almost as if your every word creates a lasting imprint on their soul. They want to keep you close, and remembering these details is their way of keeping a piece of you with them at all times. It's not about trying to win your affection. It's about wanting to know you, truly and deeply, in a way that goes beyond surface-level interactions. Sign 8. They open up about everything, except their feelings for you. They'll tell you about their dreams, their fears, their past relationships, and the challenges they faced. But when it comes to talking about you and how they feel, suddenly they clam up. They'll skirt around the issue, offering vague hints or changing the subject altogether. This is one of the most frustrating signs, because it's clear that they're holding something back. But what the truth is, they are terrified. The idea of revealing their feelings for you is a vulnerable act that could expose them to rejection. Their past experiences, or perhaps their own internal fears, have taught them that opening up emotionally can lead to pain. So, instead of telling you what's on their heart, they guard their feelings, hoping that somehow you'll understand without them having to say the words aloud. But the truth is, Actions speak louder than words. And their actions, whether it's the way they look at you or the way they listen intently when you speak, are all the signs that their heart is already speaking, even if their mouth is too afraid to. Sign 9. They laugh too easily around you. You might wonder why your jokes, even the simplest ones, make them laugh so easily. It's not that they think you're some comedy genius. It's that, when they're around you, their nerves get the best of them. Laughter becomes a way for them to cope with the overwhelming feelings they're too afraid to express. When someone is emotionally invested in you, they're often nervous in your presence, even if they try to hide it. They laugh because it's easier to mask their true feelings behind humour than to confront the intense emotions bubbling up inside them. That laughter is their shield, a temporary distraction from the vulnerability they fear. But underneath that laughter, there's a heart that wants to speak up, to say, "I care for you," but doesn't know how. So they laugh, too easily, too often, hoping that somehow it will keep the truth from being noticed. Sign 10. Their friends act strange around you. Ever notice how their friends behave when you're around? The knowing glances, the teasing smiles, the subtle nudges. It's because their friends can see what's going on, even if the two of you are keeping it hidden. People who are close to them often pick up on the tension, the unspoken bond that's forming, even if the person hasn't said a word about their feelings. Their friends might tease them, acting like they know something you don't, and in a way, they do. They can sense the chemistry, the connection that's growing between you two. Sometimes, others can see what we are too afraid to acknowledge ourselves, and while those friends might never spill the secret, their reactions are a dead giveaway that they've noticed the signs. Just like you have. They're just waiting for the moment when the person finally admits the truth they've been holding back. Sign 11. They try to give you advice or guide you. Have you ever found yourself receiving unsolicited advice from someone? Not just any advice, but the kind of guidance that feels strangely personal, tailored to your life, as if they've been watching your every move. It may not come with a confession of their feelings, but it sure comes with a heavy dose of concern. It's as if they are trying to prove their value in your life without crossing the threshold of emotional vulnerability. This is not an accident. The act of offering advice, whether it's about career, relationships, or even the smallest details of your day-to-day life, is a subtle way for them to stay connected to you. It's an attempt to create value without risking the emotional exposure of a confession. This is a person who wants to be useful to you, to feel significant in your world, yet they're too afraid to share the emotions swirling beneath the surface. Understand this. This isn't just about wanting to help. It's a deeper, more emotional gesture. They are trying to stay close to you, but without allowing their true feelings to come to light. They are offering pieces of themselves, hoping you'll see them for what they are, a person who cares deeply, yet struggles with the weight of their unspoken emotions. Sign 12. They avoid physical closeness, but notice every touch. Physical touch can be one of the most telling signs of affection, yet it is also one of the hardest to navigate for someone battling their feelings. When a person avoids physical closeness, whether it's not hugging you for too long, sitting with space between you, or avoiding hand contact, they are, in a sense, trying to control their emotions. The Stoics would likely argue that we should master our bodies, as much as we do our emotions. But here's the catch: as soon as there is a fleeting touch, something shifts in them. They freeze for a moment, the briefest brush of hands, a slight lean into each other, and suddenly their body betrays them. It's as if a flood of suppressed feelings has been triggered by something as simple as a touch. They may try to shake it off, but the emotional spark they feel cannot be ignored. Don't mistake this avoidance for disinterest. Their instinct is to guard themselves against the overwhelming flood of emotions that physical closeness evokes. They fear what it might mean, what it might reveal about their feelings. Yet, every time they notice that touch, they feel the pull. Sign 13. They suddenly disappear, then return. This is a pattern you may have noticed one moment. They're present, almost overly attentive, and the next, they're gone. No explanations, No signs, just a sudden disappearance, followed by a reappearance as if nothing happened. It's like the tides of emotion crashing against the shore and then receding, leaving you wondering which wave will come next. This is what psychologists refer to as the push-pull dynamic, and it's an incredibly common behavior in people who are emotionally conflicted. The pull occurs when they are drawn to you, when their feelings become too intense to ignore. They want to be close to you, but they fear the emotions that proximity stirs up. So, in a desperate attempt to regain control, they retreat, they disappear. But don't be fooled by their distance. The pull is just as strong as the push. They may return as quickly as they leave because the emotions they feel are too powerful to simply walk away from. The cycle repeats itself, a constant internal battle between the desire to be close and the fear of vulnerability. Sign 14. They use humor to deflect emotional moments. We all know someone who, when the conversation turns serious or emotional, suddenly cracks a joke or makes light of the situation. It's not that they're trying to undermine your feelings or the importance of the moment. In fact, they probably care more than you realize. But humor becomes their armor, their shield against the vulnerability that emotional moments provoke. For someone who is secretly fighting their feelings for you, humor is often the easiest defense mechanism. When they crack a joke, it's not to dismiss your emotions, it's to protect their own. They feel exposed when the conversation takes a vulnerable turn. It's easier for them to deflect the emotional intensity with a laugh than to confront the feelings that are lurking beneath the surface. Understand this. Humor in this context is not a rejection of you. It's a cry for help, a way of keeping themselves safe from the emotional storm they fear. It's a way of keeping control, something the Stoics would argue is crucial to emotional mastery. Sign 15. They watch your social media closely but rarely engage. In today's world, social media is the ultimate window into someone's life. It's the modern equivalent of looking through a window without ever actually stepping inside. When someone is hiding their true feelings for you, social media becomes their safe haven. They'll keep a close eye on your every post, scroll through your stories, and pay attention to every detail of your life. But when it comes to interacting with you directly, whether by liking a post, commenting, or reaching out, they rarely engage. This behavior is far from accidental. They are trying to stay connected to you without crossing the boundary of emotional exposure. By observing your life from a distance, they can remain a part of your world without risking the vulnerability that comes with direct engagement. They watch your posts as if they're silently present in your life, taking in the moments that are important to you. However, they're afraid to comment, to engage, or even to interact because doing so would require them to confront their feelings head-on. They know that each like, each comment could lead to more, an emotional exchange they might not be ready for. So, they choose to remain in the shadows, observing, silently yearning to connect, but holding back out of fear. Don't mistake their silence for indifference. In reality, it's their way of staying emotionally safe. They're not ready to share their emotions publicly, so they use social media to keep a quiet connection, absorbing the details of your life without stepping into the emotional vulnerability of engaging directly. This is their way of keeping you close without ever needing to expose their true feelings. Sign 16. They compliment you indirectly. Compliments are an undeniable expression of admiration, yet when someone is fighting their feelings for you, they often find it difficult to offer a straightforward compliment. Instead of telling you directly, "You're beautiful," or "I like you," they'll often go the indirect route. Perhaps they'll say, "You always seem so confident," or "People must love being around you." These indirect compliments are more like veiled tokens of affection, subtle hints that they admire you, but are too guarded to express it directly. At first glance, it might seem like a simple comment, but these are carefully chosen words designed to express admiration without putting them in a vulnerable position. The underlying message is still there. They appreciate you, but they're protecting themselves from the risk of emotional exposure. It's a cautious way to express affection without stepping too far out of their comfort zone. don't overlook these subtleties. These indirect compliments are still signs of affection. They are letting you know that you are noticed, that you stand out, but they're not ready to take the leap and say what's truly on their mind. For them, these roundabout compliments are a safer path, one that keeps their emotions in check while still allowing them to acknowledge the feelings they have for you. Sign 17. They get nervous when you're vulnerable. There's something undeniably powerful about vulnerability. When you open up to someone, whether it's about your fears, your dreams, or your struggles, you give them a glimpse into your soul. For someone who is secretly fighting their feelings for you, this emotional openness can create intense discomfort. When you share something personal, they might freeze for a moment, their usual calm demeanour may falter, they may get awkward, change the subject, or offer solutions when all you really needed was someone to listen. This reaction comes from a place of fear. Your vulnerability stirs up emotions in them that they're not ready to face. They get nervous because they don't know how to handle the raw emotions that arise within them. Their first instinct is to fix everything, to offer advice, to protect you. But what they're really trying to do is protect themselves from the overwhelming emotional tide your vulnerability brings to the surface. Understand this. Your openness and vulnerability make them uncomfortable because it highlights the emotional depth they're avoiding. They don't know how to process their own feelings, and your vulnerability forces them to confront the emotions they're trying to suppress. They want to be there for you, but in their mind, offering support might mean opening up parts of themselves they're not ready to reveal. Sign 18. They drop hints through music, quotes, or jokes. Sometimes words aren't enough to express what someone truly feels, and when someone is trying to hide their emotions, they may turn to other mediums, music, quotes, or jokes. You may find that they send you songs that seem to speak directly to the emotions they can't articulate, or they might share a quote that feels eerily personal, as if they're revealing their hidden feelings without having to say them aloud. Even in casual conversations, they might drop jokes that hint at something deeper, comments that seem playful but actually carry a deeper, more heartfelt message. These indirect messages are their way of communicating what they can't say directly. Music, quotes, and jokes all become a form of emotional expression. Pay attention to these small gestures. The song they send might mirror their feelings for you. The quote might reflect their unspoken desires, and the joke they make might carry a weight of truth they're too afraid to reveal. They're trying to tell you something without ever saying it directly. These aren't just throwaway messages. They're carefully chosen attempts to share their heart with you while still maintaining a layer of emotional distance. Sign 19. They mirror your behaviour. Have you ever noticed that they begin to adopt your mannerisms, your speech patterns, or even your posture? Perhaps you've observed them using the same phrases you say, mimicking the way you express yourself, or even mirroring your body language. This subtle behaviour is known as mirroring, and it's one of the most powerful signs that they feel a strong emotional connection with you. Mirroring is an unconscious sign of alignment. It's their way of connecting with you on a deeper level. When someone mirrors your behaviour, they are essentially syncing their emotions with yours. They are emotionally attuned to you, reflecting not just your actions, but your energy, your mood, and your way of being in the world. This behaviour is deeply rooted in human nature. It happens when we feel drawn to someone, when we want to connect with them, and when we feel that there is an emotional resonance between us. Don't ignore this sign. When they begin to mirror your behaviour, it's a subconscious indication of their emotional investment in you. They are emotionally aligned with you, and even if they haven't admitted it to themselves, their body is telling you that they're deeply connected to who you are. Sign 20. They look at you like you're the only one that exists. Then pretend they didn't. This is the most intimate and fleeting sign of all, the look that says more than words ever could. It's the way their eyes lock onto yours in a moment of silence, as if for just a second, the world around them fades away. In that moment, you are the only person in their universe. Their gaze is filled with so much emotion, admiration, longing, maybe even love, that it's impossible to ignore. But here's the thing: as soon as you notice, they quickly look away. They pretend like nothing happened, as if they were lost in the moment, and then suddenly snapped back to reality. That brief moment, that glance, is more telling than they'll ever admit. It's their heart revealing itself, even if only for an instant. This is the rawest, most honest sign of emotional conflict. Their guard is down, and for just a brief moment, they allow themselves to feel everything they've been trying to suppress. But the moment you catch them, they snap back into their emotional shell. They pretend like it didn't happen because they aren't ready to confront those feelings. They aren't ready to let you see the truth in their eyes. This look is their silent confession, one that speaks volumes without ever saying a word. Thank you for watching. Remember, love isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's hidden in subtle signs, and it whispers softly even when fear stands in the way. If you notice someone quietly showing you these signs, don't just ignore them. Understand that they might be fighting their own feelings. And while love may not always speak loudly, it still speaks. Here's my advice. Don't settle for love that won't fight for you, but don't miss the chance to see when someone's heart is reaching out in silence. Real love doesn't always need words. It simply needs understanding. Trust in the quiet moments. And remember, if someone is fighting their feelings, it's worth showing them that you're here, ready to listen. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. 20 signs it's not just love, it's a deep emotional connection. Old Stoic Wisdom. Love is not something you feel, it is something you do. David Wilkerson. In a society where fleeting attractions and superficial bonds often dominate, a true emotional connection stands as a rare and precious gift. It isn't something that can be fabricated or hurried. It doesn't arise from mere proximity or physical touch. True emotional depth transcends the surface. It reaches the very core of who we are, leaving an imprint on the soul. In this video, we'll delve into the profound realms of emotional psychology, revealing 20 powerful signs that show your relationship isn't simply based on physical attraction. Instead, it's a bond that's deeply rooted, deeply intimate, and timeless. Sign 1. You feel emotionally at home with them. It's that unmistakable feeling when you're with them, and the weight of the world just falls off your shoulders. No pretenses, no need for a mask, no overthinking about how you're coming across. You just are. This is emotional safety, an oasis where your nervous system can finally breathe, where you're understood without having to explain a thing. No judgments, no criticisms, simply acceptance. In that space, you're free to be yourself, unfiltered, because there's a profound understanding between you two that transcends words. It's almost like your soul immediately recognizes theirs, as though you've known each other in another life. You don't have to convince them of anything, and they don't have to convince you. You're already on the same page. Even in silence, you're communicating, even when the world around you is in chaos. There's an unspoken calm between you. This is a rare bond, something that goes beyond love. It's a deep emotional connection that has been forged on a level that requires no explanation. Old Stoic Wisdom teaches us the importance of emotional control and balance. This connection allows both of you to grow in your iron minds, navigating life with peace and fortitude. And that's the essence of Stoic principles. You're not only together for the good moments, but you're also in tune with each other during the toughest times. It's about calm in the storm, emotional safety in all circumstances, which is the foundation of true emotional connection. So, don't settle for anything less than this rare, peaceful bond. You must recognize the beauty of being emotionally home with someone. No games, no drama, just pure understanding, where even silence speaks volumes. That is where you know you've found someone who not only loves you, but connects with you on a deep, profound level. built on the very principles of Stoic wisdom. Sign 2. Silence is comfortable, not uncomfortable. In a world where noise and distractions seem to dominate, silence can often feel like an uncomfortable void. For most people, that stillness is filled with awkward tension. But here's the key: when you're deeply emotionally connected with someone, silence becomes a safe haven, not something to fear. Imagine sitting side by side, the world around you bustling, yet you don't need words. You don't need to fill the space with conversation or chatter to validate your presence. The silence is not empty, it's full. In those moments, there's a profound sense of connection that speaks louder than any words could. This is the essence of a deep, emotional bond. Think about it: the ability to simply be together, in silence, without feeling the pressure to entertain or perform. This is what true companionship feels like. It's not about saying the right things. It's about sharing the moment. The Stoic rules teach us that peace comes not from constant activity, but from the stillness of being. It's in these silent moments that you find clarity and comfort, not discomfort. This kind of connection is a testament to practical Stoicism, embracing simplicity, tranquility, and presence. The paths of wisdom aren't always about filling the air with conversation. Sometimes, the most profound moments are found in shared silence. Be aware this comfort in silence is a sign of deep emotional connection. It means you don't need to talk just to feel close. You must cherish this rare bond, for it's a reflection of something timeless, an understanding that transcends words, echoing the teachings of the Stoics. Sign 3. You remember the little things. When you're truly connected with someone, you don't just remember the big moments. You remember the small, intimate details. It's the way they take their coffee, how they twist their hair when they're anxious, or the childhood fear they once shared with you. These little things are the building blocks of an emotional bond that goes far beyond surface-level affection. This isn't just about remembering. It's about empathy, about tuning into their world with a level of attentiveness that others might miss. Your mind is no longer solely focused on your own needs and desires, but on theirs as well. This is where emotional connection thrives. It is the very essence of care and concern, the kind of depth that defines a relationship of true substance. As Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. When you make the effort to remember the little things, you're not just recalling facts, you're showing that their happiness matters to you, that their thoughts, fears, and quirks have value. In today's world of distractions, this level of attention is rare and powerful. Stoicism teaches us the value of control over our emotions and actions. You must master your inner world to connect deeply with another. Don't allow fleeting moments to pass unnoticed. Your emotional investment shapes the connection. This is how you win at relationships. Stay sharp, stay connected, and embrace the wisdom of Stoicism to build lasting bonds. Sign 4. You can communicate without words. It's the kind of connection that transcends mere conversation. You look across the room, and without them saying a single word, you already know exactly how they're feeling. It's as if you can feel their mood, their energy, pulsing in the air between you. This isn't just empathy. This is emotional synchronization. It's a rare bond, when two people are so deeply attuned to one another that words are no longer necessary. Your hearts speak in a language of their own, more powerful and more honest than anything that could be said aloud. This deep emotional connection is built on a foundation of trust and understanding that takes time to develop, much like the enduring principles found in Old Stoic Wisdom, where the strength of the bond is forged through patience, experience, and an iron mind. The Stoic principles teach us that true connection is not about the surface level, but the depth of our unspoken understanding. It's about the moments that happen when you don't need to explain yourself because the other person simply gets it. Be aware of this. It's a sign that the bond between you isn't just love, it's something much deeper, a connection that resonates on a level that requires no words at all. Don't mistake silence for distance. Often, It is the absence of words that signals the strongest connection. Remember, this is a reflection of your iron mind and emotional synchronization, where you're not just connecting with words, but with the very essence of each other's being. Sign 5. You share emotions, not just experiences. When they cry, your chest tightens. When they're excited, your eyes light up too. That is the deep emotional connection that goes beyond mere interaction. It's a bond that pulls at the very core of your being. You feel what they feel, with such intensity that their sadness weighs heavily on your heart, and their happiness lifts your spirits like a shared victory. This isn't just about being a witness in someone's life. It's about being an active participant in their emotional journey. You are no longer two people merely going through life side by side, but two souls intertwined, navigating the highs and lows together. You are not just present for their moments of joy and sorrow, you share them. This is the essence of emotional empathy. When you truly connect on this level, their pain becomes yours, and their joy becomes yours too. You don't just see them, you feel them. Practical Stoicism teaches us the importance of understanding our emotions, of not letting them control us. But this deep emotional connection is different. It's not about suppressing feelings. It's about embracing them fully, together. You must recognize the beauty of this bond. It's not weakness to let emotions flow between you. It's strength, rooted in the Stoic rules of emotional clarity and understanding. True emotional connection isn't about control. It's about embracing each other's vulnerabilities without fear. Remember, it's not enough to simply witness their emotions from the sidelines. You must participate in the paths of wisdom that allow you to share these moments fully. Be there in their sorrow. Celebrate with them in their joy. Your emotional worlds are no longer separate. They are intertwined, bound by a connection stronger than any superficial bond. You mustn't just observe the depth of your partner's feelings. You must dive in with them. Let yourself experience the highs and lows as one. This is true emotional connection, and it's a gift you give each other through understanding, empathy, and shared presence. Sign 6. You're not afraid to be vulnerable. When you experience a deep emotional connection, vulnerability becomes a power, not a burden. Unlike surface-level bonds, where we instinctively hide our wounds and shields, deep connections allow us to open up freely. You stop fearing judgment. Your past, with all its fears and scars, no longer defines you. In this space, your trauma and dreams become not weaknesses, but parts of what makes you uniquely you. As Epictetus wisely stated, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Vulnerability is no longer a risk in this connection. It becomes the foundation for trust and understanding. This bond thrives on authenticity. You speak of your deepest fears, your darkest memories, and your greatest hopes without hesitation. You no longer fear rejection, for you know that this person will never use your past against you. Instead, you feel seen, acknowledged, and loved despite it all. In the same vein, Stoicism teaches us that the ability to face our emotions and hardships with strength is what truly allows us to win in life. It's the mark of a person who has mastered his inner self. You must embrace your vulnerability and allow it to empower you. Let it be the catalyst for growth and a true measure of your emotional maturity. Only through embracing this depth can you unlock the victory of a genuine connection, your stoicism in action. This is the key to living a life filled with real, unwavering bonds. Sign 7. You respect each other's emotional space. In a deeply connected relationship, respecting emotional space isn't a sign of distance or detachment. It's a demonstration of profound respect and understanding. When you share a bond that goes beyond the surface, you both honor the silent spaces when one needs time to think, reflect, or simply be alone. Don't confuse space with abandonment. It's not about pushing away or avoiding each other. Rather, it's an acknowledgement of the importance of individual emotional processes. This mutual respect, free from guilt-tripping or emotional manipulation, is rooted in the wisdom of Old Stoic principles. The Stoic mind understands that personal growth and emotional health often require solitude, a time to recharge and recalibrate, and this is something you both honor without judgment. You must realize that the power of a healthy emotional connection isn't about constant closeness. It's about respecting each other's need for space when it's needed. When you're deeply connected, the absence of constant interaction isn't a cause for concern, but a sign of emotional maturity. An iron mind, sharpened by Stoic principles, recognizes that individuals need space to process emotions, and that this isn't a sign of weakness or withdrawal. In fact, the more you can honor each other's space, the stronger the emotional connection becomes. This is a relationship that thrives on understanding, not on manipulation or control. Be aware of how you handle emotional needs in your relationship. Respect for each other's boundaries and emotional space can be the bedrock of a lasting, meaningful bond. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that closeness means suffocation or dependency. Instead, embrace the balance that comes with giving each other the room to breathe. In this way, the wisdom of the Stoics, the clarity of an iron mind, and the deep emotional connection you share will guide you through life's inevitable challenges. If you find this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I honor emotional space and respect others' needs. Sign 8. They help you grow emotionally. True emotional connections don't just comfort you, they challenge you. That's what makes them deep and lasting. It's easy to fall for someone who makes you feel good in the moment, but a deep emotional bond asks you to face the hardest truths about yourself. It holds up a mirror to your life, reflecting not only your beauty but also your flaws and wounds. This is not an easy process, but it's the path of wisdom that leads to growth. You see, true emotional connection isn't about a smooth, easy ride. It's about transformation. When you form a bond that is rooted in emotional depth, it will challenge you to grow, to evolve, and to become a better version of yourself. The old wounds, the unresolved pain, they won't stay hidden, but that's a good thing. They are brought to the surface so you can finally heal them. And don't be afraid of this. This is one of the Stoic rules of life. You must face what hurts you if you are ever going to be free. They help you grow emotionally because they want the best for you, not just in the physical sense, but in your soul. When you're with them, you feel safe. Safe to let down your walls, safe to explore your weaknesses, knowing that you're supported as you move toward healing. This emotional growth isn't just an accidental byproduct of the relationship. It's a crucial part of what makes it so valuable. This is practical Stoicism at its best, building a life that isn't just about the good times, but about learning and evolving through the hard ones. In the paths of wisdom, those who truly care about your well-being won't just soothe you in your pain. They'll push you to break free of your emotional chains. They won't let you stay stuck in old patterns, repeating the same mistakes over and over. They'll force you to confront what you've been avoiding, helping you step into the future, emotionally stronger and wiser than before. Remember, growth isn't easy, but it is essential, and only those who are emotionally connected to you in a profound way will help you become the person you were always meant to be. Sign 9. Conflict doesn't break the bond. Conflict doesn't break the bond, it strengthens it. In the realm of deep emotional connection, arguments and disagreements aren't signs of weakness. They're proof of a solid foundation. You fight not to break apart, but to understand one another, to grow and to evolve. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This applies to relationships. It's not the surface-level harmony that counts, but the depth of understanding and respect you cultivate. In a truly connected relationship, fights do not result in isolation or resentment, because both parties are committed to the bigger picture. You can disagree and still feel bound together because the communication is open and respect is unwavering. You must fight for clarity, for understanding, and for growth. Your bond is resilient. It's tested, not destroyed, in moments of tension. As Marcus Aurelius, Another Stoic sage wisely put it, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you argue with a goal of understanding, you master the art of connection. This isn't about winning an argument. It's about emerging stronger and more in tune with each other. Your emotional maturity is what holds everything together, and this maturity is forged in the fires of conflict. You do not run from the storm. You face it head-on. The bond becomes unshakable when you understand that these moments aren't threats. They're opportunities to prove that your connection is deeper than any superficial difference. This is the way of Epictetus and Stoicism, a philosophy built on resilience, understanding, and strength. Let go of the need to always be right. Focus instead on making the relationship right. Don't fear disagreement. Don't shy away from conflict. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it to cement your emotional connection. This is how you win in life, in relationships, and in mastering your own emotional growth. You must understand that emotional maturity isn't about avoiding conflict. It's about respecting your partner enough to fight for clarity, truth, and growth. And that, my friend, is how Stoicism wins. Sign 10. You are their emotional anchor. You must understand this when life falls apart. They turn to you, not because you can magically fix everything, but because you are their emotional anchor. It's not about solving their problems or offering a quick fix. It's about being there, unshaken, steadfast in your support. This is the essence of deep emotional connection. Your presence is their safe harbour in the storm. The weight of the world may be crushing them, but when they reach out to you, they find a sense of calm. You don't need to provide solutions or bear the burdens of the world on your shoulders. What you offer is something much more valuable, the certainty that, in this chaotic world, they are not alone. Your voice, steady and reassuring, acts like an emotional shield, shielding them from their worries and anxieties. You're their rock. You've become the one they trust with their rawest emotions. In the face of the chaos, you stand firm, guided by the wisdom of old Stoic principles, which teach us that emotional fortitude is built not by avoiding the storm, but by standing tall despite it. Just like the Stoics believed in an iron mind, the depth of your emotional connection isn't a fleeting moment, but a steady force. You mustn't underestimate how your consistency in offering emotional safety shapes this bond. You embody Stoic wisdom in how you remain composed and unwavering when the winds of life are raging around you. Your connection isn't based on fleeting feelings, but on a deep, quiet strength that reassures them when everything else feels uncertain. When everything else is falling apart, you are the constant that they can rely on. That is not love. That's a profound emotional connection formed through mutual trust, safety, and respect. It's a rare bond, the kind that transcends mere affection and becomes a foundation of emotional security. Be that anchor. You must become the place they can return to when the world is too much to handle. That is the gift of deep emotional connection, one that requires no grand gestures, no sweeping declarations, just your steady presence, your steady heart, grounded in the Stoic principles of resilience, strength, and emotional stability. Your relationship is one of mutual trust and understanding. That is love, but more importantly, it is a lasting emotional bond that withstands the test of time, grounded in the iron mind of the Stoic. Sign 11. Time feels different with them. Time isn't just a ticking clock when you're deeply connected with someone. No. Time stretches and bends around that connection. Hours feel like minutes, and days slip by as if they were mere moments. This is more than just a sense of romance. This is the beauty of emotional intimacy. You see, when you're emotionally bonded with someone, you're not lost in the past or caught up in the future. You're present, you are there, fully invested in the moment with them. And because of this, time becomes irrelevant. In fact, the more profound the emotional connection, the more you feel like the world outside fades into the background. It's as though nothing else matters, except the conversation, the shared glance, the laughter. This phenomenon is part of a deeper wisdom that aligns with the ancient Stoic rules and practical stoicism. It teaches us that true connection transcends time. In the paths of wisdom, the value of presence and emotional engagement stands paramount. The Stoics emphasize the importance of controlling your focus, which directly affects how you experience time. When you're emotionally aligned with someone, this control naturally falls into place, allowing you to fully appreciate the here and now. Don't let the fleeting nature of time rob you of this experience. Be present, fully and completely. That is where the magic happens. When you embrace this emotional connection, you not only enjoy the moment, but you also tap into a deeper well of connection and meaning that is timeless. Sign 12. Their emotional state affects yours. In life, we often encounter those rare individuals with whom we share a connection that runs deeper than mere affection. It's a bond rooted in understanding and emotional resonance. This is not just love, it's a profound emotional connection. You know it when their emotions affect you deeply. When they're down, you feel their weight, a heavy burden pressing upon your own heart. When they're elated, your spirit soars with theirs. It's as if your energies are inextricably bound, and their emotional state becomes your emotional state. This isn't a coincidence. It's the power of the bond you've formed, one that transcends simple thoughts and gestures. It's your brain's mirror neurons at work, biologically proving how deeply you are connected on a psychological level. As Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, wisely noted, we are not disturbed by things, but by the views we take of things. The Stoics understood the power of emotional control and mutual understanding. In the modern world, this deep connection isn't just a romantic or fleeting notion. It's a guiding principle. In a time where emotional intelligence often seems undervalued, the ability to attune yourself to another's state of mind is a powerful tool. It means you're not merely passing through life's moments with someone. You're experiencing it together, completely in sync. You must learn to recognize this deep connection as a rare gift and nurture it. Life's victories are built on these bonds, where empathy and shared emotions elevate your own existence. Don't underestimate the value of emotional attunement. This is how we win in life. This is Stoicism in action, not just enduring hardships, but thriving through understanding. Embrace this connection. When you feel their joy, let it amplify your own. When they're struggling, become the strength they need. It's not weakness, it's mutual power. Don't just be present in their life, live it with them. Embrace this deep emotional bond. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy, where strength and serenity are achieved not just through solitary effort, but through deep emotional connections with others. Let this profound emotional connection be your victory. Let it shape your path, and let it guide you to triumph in both your personal life and your greater journey. You are not just surviving, you are winning with Stoicism. Sign 13. You care about their inner world. When it comes to deep emotional connections, don't just settle for surface-level attraction or superficial charm. True emotional connection dives into the very heart of another person, their inner world. Old Stoic wisdom teaches us that the mind is like iron, strong, resilient, yet capable of profound depths. It's about more than just looks, accomplishments, or fleeting moments of attraction. It's about understanding and cherishing what lies beneath the surface. You must care about what makes their soul tick. Don't be satisfied with only knowing their outer layers, their professional successes, or the way they carry themselves in public. Dig deeper. What makes them anxious in the still of the night? What haunts their thoughts? What inspires them to take action, to create, to live with passion? You have to care about their deepest fears and their biggest dreams. Their thoughts, their struggles, their desires. The things that don't always get spoken aloud are where the true emotional connection lies. It's a connection that goes beyond romantic gestures or casual conversations. You'll want to uncover the hidden pieces of their soul, the ones that shape their every decision, their every reaction. Their silence speaks volumes. Listen to it. Don't dismiss it as unimportant or too complicated. In fact, it's often in these moments of quiet that you can truly understand the strength of your bond. The Stoic principles guide us to embrace the complexities of the human experience, not shy away from them. The iron mind doesn't turn away from the challenging aspects of life. It faces them head-on, with calm and clarity. That's what a deep emotional connection looks like, understanding and embracing each other's struggles, celebrating each other's victories, and always seeking to know the whole person, not just the parts they choose to show. You must care for their inner world as much as you care for their outer presence. This is where true love and a meaningful relationship are built. Sign 14. You have shared emotional rituals. Don't underestimate the power of emotional rituals. These aren't just habits or routines. They are the threads that weave your hearts together. It could be something as simple as a nightly phone call, a daily quote you exchange, or a song that you both hold dear. Whatever it is, these rituals become more than just activities. They turn into emotional anchors that ground your connection. You see, these little moments, repeated over time, begin to shape the very fabric of your bond. They aren't random acts. They are purposeful. Each time you share that late-night conversation or send that thoughtful text, you're not just filling time. You're creating a ritual, a shared experience that holds deep emotional significance. With every repetition, these rituals become more powerful. They create familiarity, safety, and trust, which are all vital ingredients for a deep emotional connection. These repeated actions don't just make the connection stronger, they make it unique, personal, and unshakable. The Stoic rules of wisdom teach us that emotional resilience comes from building habits that reinforce our values. So, don't just go through the motions. Be intentional with your rituals, make them meaningful, because it is in these moments that practical Stoicism is at work, establishing a deeper sense of belonging and trust. This is the path of wisdom, not in grand gestures, but in the small, repeated acts that speak volumes about your connection. These shared rituals aren't just a part of the relationship, they are the heart of it. They transform your bond into something more than fleeting emotions. They create a lasting connection grounded in daily, intentional practices. So, keep them alive, nurture them, and allow them to be the pillars that support the emotional depth you share. If this resonates with you, comment below, and share it with someone who values deep emotional connections. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Comment to remember, emotional rituals are the heartbeats of a strong connection. Sign 15. You tell each other the hard truths. In a truly deep emotional connection, honesty stands as the cornerstone. It's not about making each other feel good with comforting lies. It's about the strength to face the uncomfortable truths that bind you together in a meaningful way. When you value honesty more than the momentary peace of a pleasant lie, you know you've crossed a threshold beyond mere affection. The love you share is unshakable, rooted in authenticity. As Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. A relationship founded on honesty is not fragile. It's a powerful union of two individuals willing to confront the truth, no matter how difficult it may be. This is a relationship where you don't hide behind false pleasantries, but instead, you face the rawness of your emotions together with strength and respect for the other person's perspective. Understand this superficial peace is fleeting, but the peace of truth is lasting. The Stoics knew this well. Life's challenges are inevitable, but how you rise to meet them is what defines your inner strength. When you're with someone who values truth over comfort, you enter a space where you both grow. Lies may shield you momentarily, but they suffocate long-term growth and understanding. In modern life, we're surrounded by distractions, by the temptation to take the easier path, to avoid the hard conversations. But deep emotional connections are built on transparency. Don't shy away from the tough talks. They create clarity, solidify trust, and build a foundation that cannot be easily shattered. If you're only telling each other what's comfortable, what's easy, you're missing the true potential of your connection. Realize this now: true connection comes not from avoiding discomfort, but from embracing it with the person you trust most. So, don't settle for anything less. You must speak your truth, even when it's difficult. In doing so, you both unlock a deeper connection. Epictetus taught that we must be the master of our own emotions and responses. In relationships, this means you must stand strong in the truth, knowing that the strength of that honesty will guide you through any storm. Stoicism wins when we don't fear the truth, and when we welcome it as a tool for growth, not destruction. Speak openly, speak honestly, and your emotional connection will soar. Sign 16. Forgiveness comes naturally. In a relationship built on a deep emotional connection, forgiveness becomes second nature. This isn't about letting someone off the hook, but understanding their imperfections without judgment. When they make a mistake, don't rush to retaliate or hold it against them. Instead, pause, listen, hear not just their words, but the truth in their heart. This is where Old Stoic Wisdom shows its power. Stoic principles teach that forgiveness is not a sign of weakness, but a strength of character. You understand their wounds, their struggles, their humanity, and you recognize your own. Forgiveness in this context isn't just a polite gesture. It's the key to preserving a bond that runs deeper than superficial disagreements or missteps. It's about protecting something more precious than pride, the trust and connection between you. Be the one who nurtures this trust, not the one who breaks it down with accusations or bitterness. In practicing this, you're not just loving in the traditional sense. You're embodying an iron mind, a resilience built on emotional understanding and wisdom. The ability to forgive comes from the realization that we are all flawed, and yet we choose to love anyway. That is a hallmark of true emotional depth. This is more than just love. It's a shared journey, one where you walk beside each other in both strength and vulnerability. The sacred nature of this bond means you aren't weighed down by petty grievances. The connection you share is elevated because both of you understand that mistakes don't define your relationship. They refine it. The wisdom of old Stoic teachings reminds you to keep your heart open, your mind clear, and your ego in check. You must embrace the understanding that every act of forgiveness, every moment of compassion, makes your emotional connection stronger, more unbreakable, like a steel beam forged by fire. Keep this at the core of your relationship, and it will transcend ordinary love into something eternal. Sign 17. You feel their presence even when they're not around. Do you ever find yourself walking through life, and suddenly you hear a song or see something that triggers a deep, almost inexplicable thought of them? Maybe you're facing a difficult situation, and their words echo in your mind, guiding you like a steady compass. That's no coincidence. It's a sign that what you have is no ordinary relationship. This is not just love, it's a profound emotional connection. In the realm of Stoic rules and practical Stoicism, there's a powerful concept that teaches us how everything, every interaction, and every person we encounter leaves an imprint on our lives. And when someone leaves a mark so deep, they don't just occupy space in your thoughts. They become a part of your essence. Their presence lingers even in their absence. That's the power of emotional connection. It's like a bond that transcends physical proximity. Paths of wisdom remind us that true connection goes beyond mere interaction. It reaches deep into our soul, affecting our energy and emotions. It shapes how we see the world, how we react to challenges, and how we celebrate triumphs. You must recognize that when someone's essence intertwines with yours, they are no longer just a part of your life. They are a part of you. Don't take that for granted. This level of connection is rare. It's not something you can manufacture. It's not about finding someone to simply share experiences with. No, this is a connection that sees beyond the surface. This is the essence of a deep emotional bond. You feel it in your core. Be aware of it, recognize it, embrace it. Sign 18. You crave emotional intimacy more than physical touch. Physical affection has its place, but it's the emotional connection that truly sustains you. What you need isn't just a touch. It's their presence, their thoughts, their soul intertwined with yours. You want to engage in meaningful conversation, share your deepest fears and desires, and laugh together until it feels like time stands still. You want to sit together in silence, watching the stars, each one representing the shared memories and dreams you are building. It is in these moments that you feel most alive. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your emotional connection isn't about seeking validation or comfort from fleeting moments of physical closeness, but about knowing that someone truly understands the depths of your inner world. In today's world, where so much is superficial, the pursuit of emotional intimacy is the hallmark of true connection. Do not settle for less. You must seek those who resonate with you on a deeper, more meaningful level. In the words of Stoicism, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Seek emotional depth, and you will find a connection that endures, a connection that is rich in meaning and unwavering in its strength. This is how you win at life, through mastery of your emotions and relationships, not through transient physical encounters. You must remember this. The most powerful connections are built on understanding, not on mere touch. Don't waste time on fleeting pleasures. Focus on building that emotional bond that will stand the test of time. Let your heart and mind be the foundation, for this is where true fulfillment lies. Epictetus understood that only those who master their emotions can truly win in life. Sign 19. You feel spiritually aligned. It's more than just a passing connection. It's a bond rooted in the very core of your existence. You don't just feel good around each other. You share values, beliefs, and principles that shape your worldview and guide your decisions. It's not merely about the comfort of each other's presence, but about the deeper understanding that your lives are intertwined in a way that goes beyond the surface. Your emotional connection is built on the understanding that you both stand for the same things, an alignment that resonates on a soul level. You must recognize this. It's not just coincidence. This is the power of deep emotional connection, forged through shared values and unwavering beliefs. This is where the Old Stoic Wisdom comes into play. Being in alignment isn't a matter of chance. It's the result of intentional living and practicing Stoic principles that elevate your connection. With an iron mind, you know that emotional depth comes not only from shared experiences, but also from shared ideals. Don't ignore it. This is a powerful sign that your bond transcends mere affection. When you meet someone whose values mirror your own, it's more than just serendipity. It's a manifestation of a deep, unspoken understanding. Be aware of this alignment and embrace it. The Stoic principles of virtue, wisdom, and inner peace have brought you together in a way that allows both of you to not only live your truths, but to elevate each other's lives. That is the power of an emotional connection grounded in shared beliefs. You must nurture this connection, for it is rare, and it's what will stand the test of time. Don't forget that true emotional depth comes from being in sync, not just emotionally, but spiritually. That's how you know this isn't just love. This is a deep emotional connection rooted in alignment with life's most important principles. The Old Stoic Wisdom teaches us that when we live with purpose and align our values, we invite profound connections that last. Sign 20? You just know this is rare. Some things in life don't need to be explained. They don't require long speeches or logical breakdowns. You simply know. You feel it deep within you. Your bones, your heartbeat, your very silence. It's an understanding that transcends words, like a whisper from your soul telling you, this is different. This is not your everyday, run-of-the-mill connection. No, this is rare. This is sacred. It's the kind of bond that comes once in a lifetime, something that doesn't fit into the normal pattern of relationships. It's more than just chemistry or fleeting emotions. It's the stuff legends are made of. And no matter where life takes you, whether across the world, through years of change, or down paths you never imagined. You'll always carry a piece of that bond with you. It becomes part of your essence. And here's the truth. It's not just about physical attraction. Sure, that may spark the flame, but it's the emotional connection that keeps the fire burning, long after the initial excitement has settled. The bond grows stronger with time, like a well-forged steel, tempered and unwavering. The old Stoic rules teach us that some of the most important things in life cannot be measured or seen. They must be felt. The paths of wisdom often show that true emotional connections aren't based on logic. They're grounded in something deeper. That's why, when you experience such a connection, you know it's rare. You must trust it, for it aligns with the very principles of practical Stoicism, reminding us that the heart knows truths that the mind cannot always grasp. So, don't doubt it. This connection is rare, it's sacred, it's a bond that runs deeper than any physical attraction. You must cherish it, because it's one of the few things in life that truly holds meaning. Hey friends, thanks for sticking with me till the end. If you've noticed these signs in your own life, consider yourself lucky and cherish that bond. And if you're still waiting for that connection, trust the journey. Remember, the deepest relationships are built on truth, trust, and tenderness, not just physical touch. Thank you so much for being here today. Stay connected, stay open, and always remember, the heart knows what the eyes cannot see. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. "10 scientific signs someone likes you, but is trying not to show it." Old Stoic Wisdom. The heart has its reasons which reason knows not. Blaise Pascal. Have you ever sensed that someone might be interested in you, yet couldn't quite pin down the signs? Perhaps their gaze lingered just a bit too long, or their smile seemed tailored only for you. Rest assured, you're not imagining things. There are unmistakable cues, backed by psychology, that reveal when someone is quietly drawn to you but is reluctant to show it. Having dedicated years to studying human behavior and the science of attraction, I can tell you that love communicates through subtle gestures long before words come into play. In this video, I'll walk you through 10 intriguing, research-supported signs that someone might have feelings for you, but is too apprehensive to admit it. And trust me, number 10 is so discreet, you might even be overlooking it right now. Sign 1. They find small reasons to touch. Touch speaks louder than words, especially when it's subtle, and yet you must pay attention to the way it's used. If someone likes you but tries to hide it, don't expect overt, dramatic gestures. Instead, you'll notice the little, fleeting moments where their hand brushes against yours when you laugh, or when they accidentally touch your arm during conversation. You might find them adjusting your jacket or casually fixing your collar, seemingly without reason. But don't be fooled. These actions are far from random. They're driven by a deep-seated desire to feel close, and they're part of a silent, non-verbal conversation that's speaking volumes about their emotions. This is what psychologists call affiliative touch, a way of subtly building emotional connection and comfort without saying a word. The touch is light, gentle, brief, but the intention that's clear as day. Every touch is an unspoken invitation, a moment where their feelings slip through, revealing what they're trying so hard not to show. They won't do it aggressively, but they'll find any small excuse to bridge the physical distance between you, and in doing so, they reveal what their words are too afraid to. Understand this. It's not just about the touch itself, but the intention behind it. And when someone is trying to hide their attraction, it's often in these quiet, brief moments of physical connection that their true feelings come to light. So, pay attention. Don't dismiss it as an accident or an innocent gesture. This touch, it's a subtle signal of interest, carefully wrapped in the guise of casualness. Sign 2. Mirroring your movements. Mirroring. It's subtle, it's sly, and it's powerful. You probably don't even notice it happening, But if you do, it can be one of the most telling signs that someone is emotionally connected to you. And when a woman likes you but tries not to show it, this is one of her secret weapons. Imagine this. You're sitting across from her, chatting, and as you lean back in your chair, she does the same. You take a sip from your drink, and within moments, she follows suit. You fold your arms, and, almost in sync, she mirrors you. It may seem like a coincidence, but trust me, it's far from it. This is what psychologists call limbic synchrony, and it's one of the most powerful yet understated signs of emotional connection. What's happening here isn't calculated or planned. It's the body's unconscious attempt to create rapport and empathy. It's your mind telling hers, we're on the same page, and her body responds instinctively. It's not just about copying your movements. It's the body's way of saying, I feel connected to you, even when her words aren't yet ready to express that same sentiment. So, why is this important? Because, at its core, it's a sign that her heart is trying to keep pace with yours. It's an unspoken rhythm, a dance between you and her that says more than any words ever could. She may not be ready to admit her feelings or confess how much she likes you, but her body. That's telling a completely different story. You must understand the power of body language. It speaks volumes. This subtle synchronization isn't just happenstance. It's an unconscious attempt to bond, a physical demonstration of empathy that goes beyond what's being said. Don't miss the cues. If you notice her mirroring your movements, take it as a sign that she feels emotionally attuned to you. It's a clear indicator that her heart is trying to sync with yours, but perhaps her mind hasn't caught up just yet. This can be a delicate dance, especially if she's trying to suppress her feelings. You might think it's all in your head, but that's exactly how it works. Our brains are hardwired for connection, and they'll go to great lengths to show that connection, even when we're trying to hide it. When she mirrors you, it's as if her mind is telling her body to let go, to be vulnerable, to stop hiding how she really feels. Be aware. If you catch her mirroring your movements, it's not a coincidence. She's showing you that she's not only paying attention to you, she's trying to build that connection with you. Even if she's trying to hide it, she may be holding back, but her body is speaking a language she can't control. Pay close attention to the signals her body is sending. In a world where words often fall short, mirroring is the language of the body that says, I see you, I feel you, I want to be close to you. You must take note of it. And next time you notice this unspoken connection between you, you'll know exactly what's going on, even if she isn't ready to admit it just yet. So, there you have it. Mirroring is more than just mimicry. It's a profound sign of emotional connection, a way of syncing up without saying a word. And when a woman likes you but is trying to hide it, her body will give her away. Trust in the signs. They speak louder than you think. Sign 3. Voice changes around you. You must recognize the power of the voice. It reveals more than just words. Attraction, whether hidden or obvious, speaks loudly through tone, pitch, and rhythm. Research shows that when someone is attracted to you, their voice changes. A man might lower his voice, striving to appear more confident, more commanding. A woman, on the other hand, will soften her tone, adding warmth, making her words seem more melodic and inviting. It's not simply the sound of their voice. It's the emotional shift that occurs when they speak to you. Their voice becomes more deliberate, more purposeful, like each word holds deeper weight. It's a subtle yet powerful display of their emotions, even if they try to hide it. Why does this happen? Because attraction exposes vulnerability, and vulnerability inevitably slips into their speech. You must understand this. The voice, while seemingly neutral, carries the emotional truth that their words might not reveal. In the heat of attraction, even the most guarded person will let their true feelings leak out, betraying their inner intentions. It's an ancient, unspoken language that has evolved with human interaction. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. This doesn't only apply to actions, it applies to understanding the subtle signs people send through their tone. You must learn to recognize these clues. You don't have to wait for them to say it out loud. Pay attention to the cadence, the emotional timbre of their voice when they speak to you. In these moments, you are witnessing their inner vulnerability, their emotional state, and the quiet revelation of their true feelings. In modern life, mastering this subtle communication gives you power. It's no longer about guessing their emotions. Now, listen carefully. Feel the difference. Don't ignore this critical sign. Trust your ability to read between the lines, to perceive the unspoken words. When someone changes their voice around you, they reveal a truth that cannot be concealed. And if you find today's content very interesting, please give me a word of encouragement by commenting "very interesting" in the comments section. That is a huge motivation for us. Thank you. Sign 4. They show genuine curiosity about your life. You've probably had those casual, "How was your day?" chats before. We've all been there, giving the standard answers that don't really matter. Good, busy, the usual. But when a woman truly likes you, it's a different story. She's not just asking because it's the polite thing to do. No, she's diving deeper. She wants to know everything. She's asking about your past, not because she's curious about the mundane details of your childhood, but because she's genuinely interested in what shaped you, the dreams you had when you were younger, the scars, physical or emotional, that have left a mark on you, your favourite memories, not for nostalgia's sake, but because she wants to understand the experiences that have defined you. This isn't just idle chit-chat. This is emotional investment, a psychological principle where someone desires to connect with you on a deeper level. It's more than asking about your day at the office. It's about exploring the story that lies beneath your surface. She's not gathering facts to add to her mental file. She's weaving your narrative into her own, trying to understand the nuances of what makes you, you. So don't mistake this curiosity for a mere interest in trivia. This is a sign of something more profound. When someone is emotionally drawn to you, your personal history becomes fascinating to them. It's not about looking for the perfect answer. It's about finding a piece of the puzzle that helps them see the world through your eyes. And that is powerful. In Old Stoic Wisdom, we are taught to embrace true connection. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The best way to predict your future is to understand your past." When someone is invested in your life, your struggles, and your triumphs, it's a form of honouring your story. They don't want to just know you, they want to understand your essence. And that curiosity is not an accident. It's the foundation of a bond that goes beyond superficial conversation. Be aware of this sign. It's not about shallow small talk or casual flirtation. This is someone who's taking the time to see you for who you are. And they're not just trying to be polite, they're caring. The more they ask, the deeper they dig into your soul. And that's when you know, without a doubt, they are emotionally invested. Don't dismiss it. Don't brush it off as curiosity that will fade. When someone shows this level of attention, it's a mark of genuine interest. And that type of attention, like an old Stoic mentor carefully analysing the landscape of your character, is meant to last. It is a rare treasure in a world full of surface-level interactions. Remember, you must pay attention to this sign. It's not a fleeting interest. It's a signal that someone is eager to connect, to understand, and to care. And when that curiosity is genuine, it's a reflection of something deeper, something that's built to last. So, don't ignore it. It's a powerful signal that someone might like you more than they're letting on. If you recognize this kind of genuine curiosity in someone, take note. It's a powerful sign of emotional investment. Don't ignore it if this resonates with you. Comment below, and share it with someone who might find it valuable. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights. Comment to remember, true connection starts with genuine curiosity. Sign 5, their feet point towards you. Feet. The often overlooked part of our body, yet one of the most honest. It's easy to miss their subtle language, but if you start paying attention, you'll notice they can say a lot. The direction of a person's feet is a fascinating tell that speaks volumes about their true feelings, especially when it comes to attraction. And here's the kicker. It's a detail so overlooked that even the most astute might miss it. Yet it's rooted in hard behavioral science. You must understand this. When a woman likes you, her feet won't just wander aimlessly in a conversation. They'll silently, and I mean silently, point in your direction. This might sound like a trivial observation, but it's a gem of wisdom that even the old Stoics would have recognized. Their feet are like a compass, subtly guiding them toward what or who they care about most. They can't hide it. It's not something they can consciously control. You see, when it comes to our bodies, the feet rarely lie. Think of it like this. Imagine you're standing in a room with a group of people. There's a woman in the mix, someone you've been curious about for a while. You're chatting with friends, but every time you glance over, you notice her feet are subtly, almost imperceptibly, angled toward you. It's a small movement, but it's significant. She's not doing it deliberately. Her feet are just telling the truth her words are trying to hide. It's her body's way of communicating her interest, without her even realizing it. The mouth can make small talk, but the body, the feet, speak directly. You must pay attention to these signals. Don't let them slip by unnoticed. The human body is a beautiful thing, and it gives off signs of attraction long before we verbally express it. The way the feet turn toward you, even while she's engaged in a different conversation, is a subconscious physical pull. It's like her feet can't help but gravitate toward you, drawn in by an invisible thread of connection. Even in a crowded room, her feet will reveal her true feelings, her silent admission of interest. But here's the catch. She may be trying to hide it. Women, especially those trying to play it cool, are often aware of how they come across. But this foot sign, it's nearly impossible to mask. Her feet know the truth, even when her mind tries to tell her otherwise. There's no point in pretending, because the feet speak louder than words ever could. That's the wisdom of old Stoic teachings. Our actions, however subtle, can never fully mask the truths of our hearts. Just as the ancient Stoics knew that the mind and body are intrinsically linked, so too does the direction of our feet tell the world what we truly desire. It's a powerful yet understated form of communication. So, when you're trying to decode her behavior, pay attention to where her feet go. If they point towards you, rest assured, there's something there. You must be aware. Don't get distracted by the superficial chatter of the moment or the small talk happening around you. Focus on what's important. Her feet, whether she knows it or not, are giving you the most honest and revealing sign of all. They are pointing in your direction, signaling her unspoken attraction. The rest is just background noise. Remember, your feet are not just walking in circles. They are directing you toward the heart of the matter. Sign 6. They remember the tiny details. When someone likes you, their attention to detail becomes unmistakable. They don't just hear you. They listen. And, more importantly, they remember the small, seemingly insignificant things you mention, like your favorite snack, that obscure movie you loved as a child, or the time you had a particularly tough day. They don't just disappear into the ether. Instead, they stick with them. This isn't just happenstance. It's because emotions sharpen our memory. As the philosopher Seneca wisely stated, nothing is more honourable than a grateful heart. When someone values you, your words carry weight. Your casual remarks are not forgotten. They are stored in their mind as treasures, and they resurface at the perfect moment. If you find them recalling something you said weeks ago or even years ago, be assured it's no coincidence. It's a sign, a signal, a subtle but powerful message that you matter more to them than they are letting on. It might be hidden beneath the surface, but it's there, strong, undeniable, and ready to rise when the moment calls for it. In modern life, you must pay attention to this. Don't dismiss it as a trivial detail. The things people remember about you speak volumes about how they feel. It's the quietest form of flattery and affection. It's their way of saying, I see you, I hear you, I value you. Remember, actions speak louder than words, and in this case, it's their recall of your words that is the most telling action of all. So, pay attention. When someone remembers the smallest things about you, understand it's not just memory at play, it's emotional investment. And that's the kind of investment you want in your life. If you find this valuable, comment below and share it with someone who could benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more wisdom. Comment to remember, I am worthy of attention and care. This affirmation encourages self-worth while aligning with the concept of emotional investment discussed in the video. Sign 7. They get nervous around you. Let's get this straight. Nervousness is not a sign of disinterest. Far from it. When a woman likes you, there's a good chance she'll feel the butterflies, and they won't be gentle. In fact, you might notice her acting a little off when you're around. She could be fidgeting, stumbling over her words, or laughing at something that's barely funny. But what's really happening here? Why the awkwardness? Here's the key: her brain is on a dopamine rush. Dopamine is the chemical that floods our system when we're excited or attracted to something or someone. It's the pleasure neurotransmitter, the same one that makes us feel high when we experience something thrilling. When she's around you, her brain is lighting up, firing off signals of attraction and arousal at the same time. It's like a psychological overload. And that's exactly why she might seem a bit nervous. But don't mistake that nervousness for discomfort. It's the complete opposite. This is a primal, almost uncontrollable response that her body is having to the way she feels about you. The dopamine rush is both exciting and overwhelming. It's a good thing, a sign of deep interest. You see, attraction doesn't just activate the reward system in the brain, it also brings up anxiety. She wants to make a good impression, but her feelings are so strong that they spill out as nervous energy. So when you see her stumbling over words or feeling a bit jittery, it's not that she's unsure of you, it's that she's overwhelmed by how much she does care. Don't miss this sign. A woman who's nervous around you is likely the one who's feeling the most. So, what should you do with this knowledge? First off, don't dismiss it as awkwardness. It's a signal, loud and clear, that her emotions are running deep. You must recognize that nervousness often masks profound interest. People don't get nervous around those they don't care about. That's the truth. In fact, the person who is most nervous around you is often the one who feels the most deeply. You must remember this attraction is messy. It's human nature. It's not always going to be smooth or composed, but that doesn't mean it's any less real. The nerves, they're just her brain's way of telling her that you matter more than you realize. And the fact that she's trying to hide it, well, that's where the beauty of it all lies. She's trying to keep it cool, but inside, her heart is racing. You must be aware of these signs. Look for the slight awkwardness, the fidgeting fingers, the nervous laughter, the way she might quickly glance away when you make eye contact. It's not a negative. It's a deep, emotional response that most people try to hide when they don't want to appear vulnerable. And don't mistake her nervousness for rejection. It's quite the opposite. She's trying not to show just how much she's drawn to you. That's the paradox. What's even more fascinating is that, in some ways, this nervousness is actually an old Stoic lesson in disguise. The Stoics would tell you that when we become too emotionally attached to an outcome, we often create internal conflict. The Stoic approach would say, don't let your feelings control your behavior. Yet, in the case of attraction, those feelings will always find a way to slip through the cracks. The mind may try to stay calm and composed, but the heart speaks loudly. So, don't overlook the signs of nervousness. They're not a sign to retreat. They're a message to lean in, to understand, and to see beyond the surface. You must remember, the most nervous person in the room might be the one who's feeling the deepest. So, pay attention to the subtle signs. Don't let her fidgeting, her blushing, or her misplaced laughter fool you. They're a reflection of something far more profound than she's willing to show. Be patient, and give her the space to reveal her true feelings. The more you do, the more she'll trust you with her vulnerable side. In the end, attraction doesn't always play by the rules. Sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's awkward, but it's always real. Sign 8. The eyes give it away. Don't overlook the subtle power of the eyes. They are the windows to the soul and often speak louder than words ever could. When someone likes you, their eyes become a dead giveaway, no matter how hard they try to hide it. It's not just about stealing a glance here and there, it's about how they look at you, and it's completely out of their control. You must understand that studies have proven it when a person is attracted to you. Their eye contact lasts longer than usual, but it doesn't end there. Their pupils may even dilate without them realizing it, a natural, involuntary reaction triggered by the nervous system when emotions run high. Now, you might think it's just a coincidence, but no. Pay attention. That split-second glance, when they think you aren't looking, it's their subconscious whispering what their lips dare not say. And when your eyes meet, don't miss the slight hesitation, the flicker of vulnerability before they quickly look away as if caught in the act. That's not just flirting, that's the body's language, trying to connect on a level that words can't. Don't be fooled into thinking it's nothing more than a casual glance. It's their soul reaching out, silently acknowledging the attraction before the mind can catch up. It's a primal instinct, a connection forged through sight. The eyes give it away, always. So don't ignore what they're saying. The eyes will always tell you more than they mean to. You must remember eyes don't lie. The way they linger on you, dart away, or avoid looking at you altogether, it's all part of the dance. This isn't conscious behavior, it's a gut reaction, a signal of their inner feelings, trying to hide beneath layers of composure. The most telling sign of all is the lingering gaze. It's almost as if they can't help it. That second too long, the moment they realize they've been staring just a bit too much. They look away, perhaps even sheepishly, but it's already too late. Their intentions have been revealed. That is the magic of the eyes, the unsung messengers of desire. So, next time you feel those eyes on you, know this. It's more than just a glance. It's a silent confession. Don't doubt the silent power of a gaze. You must see it for what it is, an undeniable sign that someone is trying, unsuccessfully, to mask their interest in you. It's a subconscious, physical reaction, beyond their control, and it's happening every time they steal a glance or hold eye contact just a second too long. Those eyes, they're the messengers of a heart that doesn't know how to speak just yet. Be mindful of them, for they are the first indicators that someone has already noticed you, and maybe, just maybe, it's a little more than just a casual encounter. Sign 9, the subtle signs of jealousy. Jealousy doesn't always announce itself in a dramatic outburst. More often, it creeps in quietly, hidden beneath the surface, in the way someone's mood shifts when you mention another person, be it a friend, co-worker, or someone you're dating. You'll notice it in the slight fade of their smile, the shift in their tone, or even a brief change in their body language. This isn't just about possessiveness. This is a deeper, more natural form of jealousy called protective jealousy. It's not toxic. It's the body's instinctive response to perceived romantic competition. It's the same feeling that emerges when the brain releases cortisol, the stress hormone. It's the feeling of fear, a fear of losing something precious. When they become distant, cold, or suddenly inquisitive about the person you've just mentioned, it's not just curiosity. They're protecting what they subconsciously feel is their place in your life. You must understand this. Their reaction is a form of emotional self-defense, not a declaration of war. They're quietly signaling their desire for more of your attention, more of your affection, and a deeper connection. This is where the wisdom of the Stoics comes in. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. A calm mind, knowing one's value, is the foundation of wisdom. But even in the wisdom of restraint, there is an undeniable truth: we are wired for connection. When someone subtly shows jealousy, it's a sign they are not indifferent. They care. You must recognize this and respond thoughtfully, not with rash actions, but with the patience and clarity of someone who knows their own worth and isn't quick to judge. Life will test you, but it is in those quiet moments of reaction that true mastery over the self can be achieved. Don't misinterpret their distance for coldness. Interpret it as the body's natural plea for recognition. This is the time to respond with strength and confidence. keeping your emotions in check, just as the Stoics would advise control thy emotions, for they are not the master, but the servant of the wise. Sign 10. They make long eye contact, then look away. There's something deeply revealing in the silent battle that unfolds in their eyes. You see, they look at you a moment longer than feels comfortable, then just as quickly, their gaze flicks away. This isn't a simple slip of attention, nor is it accidental. It's a raw, unguarded moment, one where their emotions break free, only to be hidden again in a flash. The truth. They've been caught up in the weight of their own feelings, staring at you with an intensity that says more than words could, but as soon as they realize the depth of what they've revealed, they look away, as if they're trying to hide the truth before it escapes entirely. Psychologists call this approach avoidance behavior, the inner conflict between the desire to connect with you and the crippling fear of being vulnerable. It's that instant where someone craves closeness but recoils at the idea of exposing too much of themselves. This battle is not controlled, it's instinctual, it's honest. In fact, it's one of the most genuine signs of attraction. Their eyes linger because they can't help it, but then the self-protective reflex kicks in, forcing them to look away before they've given too much away. If you notice this happening, if their eyes lock with yours and then quickly dart away, you didn't just imagine it. This is their truth. In that fleeting moment before they manage to conceal it again, you've seen it for what it is, a sign they want to connect, but they're wrestling with the vulnerability that connection would require. That's powerful, isn't it? That's how deep their feelings run. When someone does this, understand that you've stumbled upon a raw, unfiltered glimpse into their emotions. This is not something anyone can easily fake. It's pure, instinctive, and a surefire indicator that they're struggling with their desire to be close to you, yet also afraid of what might happen if they let that desire show too much. You must recognize the significance of this moment. It's a clue, an emotional breadcrumb, a sign they're wrestling with their feelings for you. When you see that quick glance, know it's their way of saying, I like you, but I'm not sure how to let you know just yet. So, if their gaze lingers for just a little too long and then darts away, don't second-guess it. That's not just hesitation, that's attraction in its purest, most vulnerable form. Hey there, thanks for watching. If you found yourself wondering whether someone likes you but is trying to hide it, now you know. The signs can be subtle but meaningful. Attraction doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers in the smallest of gestures. So, my advice to you is this: pay attention to the little things. People may not always be ready to express their feelings openly, but their actions will often speak louder than their words. If you're noticing these signs, trust your instincts, and don't be afraid to respond with kindness. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments which sign felt most familiar, and remember to like, subscribe for more insights into human psychology, and share it with someone who could use a little clarity. Because sometimes, the truth is right in front of us. We just need to open our eyes and see it. Catch you in the next video. If someone shows these clues, they're mentally dating you already. Old Stoic Wisdom. The mind has its own way of telling us what the heart knows. Have you ever felt the weight of someone's gaze a little too long? Or maybe they recall a small, offhand comment you made, something you barely remember saying. But they bring it up as if it holds great significance. It's as if they understand you in ways no one else does, yet they never vocalize it. Strange, right? But what if I told you this quiet attention is more than just a coincidence? There's a psychological reason behind it. You might just be the subject of their silent affection, their mental partner, living in the world of their thoughts and emotions, even if they never express it openly. As a psychology expert, I've witnessed this phenomenon countless times. People can develop deep emotional bonds in their minds, imagining a connection with someone without ever saying a word. Today, I'll share with you 7 subtle signs that someone may already be mentally in a relationship with you. Some of these clues are so hidden, You might never even notice them. Stick with me until the end. The final clue is often overlooked, but once you understand it, it will all make sense. Section 1. The concept. What is mental dating? Before we dive into the clues that reveal whether someone is mentally dating you, let's take a moment to understand exactly what mental dating means. Simply put, it's when someone forms a romantic connection with you entirely in their mind. They picture endless conversations, shared moments, and a possible future together, but none of it ever sees the light of day in the real world. This isn't about wild fantasies or daydreams in the traditional sense. It's far more subtle, and in many ways, it's more dangerous. It's an emotional attachment that lives only in their imagination, never expressed openly. This psychological phenomenon is often referred to as internal projection. Essentially, someone projects their hopes, desires, and even their fears onto another person without ever involving them. They build this emotional narrative around you, without you knowing, and without any real action taken to bring it to life. It's a projection of feelings, not an exchange. So why does this happen? It often boils down to fear. Fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, or perhaps a belief that merely thinking about you is safer than facing the truth. It's easier to construct a world in your head where you two are always together, where everything is perfect, without confronting the possibility of failure or disappointment. But here's the kicker: even though they keep these thoughts to themselves, mental dating leaves behind clues. The human mind can try to hide emotions, but the body, the eyes, the behavior, they're honest. They always give away the truth. People may think they can keep their feelings in check, but the way they act around you, how they look at you, the subtle ways they engage with you, it all betrays them. And when someone is mentally dating you, these signs will show up. You've probably already experienced it. Maybe you've noticed someone lingering just a little too long in your personal space, offering more support than usual, or making you feel like the center of their attention without you ever asking for it. The most telling part of mental dating is that, while these individuals aren't expressing their feelings outright, they're creating a reality in their minds where you're a central part of their emotional world. You must understand that this behavior is not innocent. It's not a casual friendship or a passing crush. It's something deeper, something that, if left unchecked, can lead to frustration and confusion, because the other person is emotionally invested in a relationship that doesn't exist in reality. They've mentally locked themselves into a narrative of what they want, but they have no intention of taking the leap to make it real. It's not just about fantasy. It's about attachment to a person who has no clue they're the focus of someone else's emotional world. So, how can you spot these clues? The next time you're interacting with someone who may be mentally dating you, pay attention to how they act around you. Are they constantly thinking out loud about future scenarios with you, even though they've never talked about making those scenarios a reality? Do they spend a lot of time observing you, perhaps even noticing little details about you that no one else seems to? That's a strong sign that their mind is already in a romantic space, even if they haven't told you outright. Mentally dating someone is like planting seeds in your head that are never nurtured in the real world. It's about imagining a connection, but never allowing it to take form. That's where the clues come in, and that's where you need to recognize them. Mental dating is an emotional trap, and once you spot the signs, you'll be able to avoid getting caught up in someone else's imaginary relationship. Be aware, watch for the clues, and remember, if someone's mentally dating you, they're showing it. You must learn to read these signs before it's too late. Section 2. The 7 hidden clues. They're mentally dating you. Relationships are not always about what is spoken aloud or explicitly stated. Sometimes, the connection we share with someone exists only in their mind and actions, long before they confess their feelings. Have you noticed subtle signs that someone might be mentally dating you? It's more than just eye contact or the occasional flirty comment. There are deeper clues at play that reveal how their emotions have already taken root. Here's a breakdown of 7 hidden clues that will help you decode these subtle signals. Clue 1. They study your social media like a diary. When someone is mentally dating you, your social media is no longer just a platform for sharing photos. It becomes their personal treasure trove, an intimate diary they dig through like a detective in search of clues. They don't just like a post here and there. They remember the caption under your photo from months ago. They know your favorite coffee spot without you ever mentioning it. It's as if, through a screen, they're building a connection. This obsessive behavior comes from emotional investment. It's not just about being curious. It's about forming a bond, no matter how digital. They analyze every picture, every caption, every emoji, and every subtle shift in your online presence. It's the kind of behavior you'd see in a relationship, where every little detail is cherished. So when they're scrolling through your feed with the intensity of someone reading a love letter, it's a clear signal that they're mentally dating you already. Clue 2. They get jealous silently. Have you ever noticed them go oddly quiet or distant when you mention someone else? Maybe they offer a tight-lipped smile, but you can sense a shift in their energy. That's not just a fleeting moment. It's silent jealousy. Emotionally, when someone is mentally dating you, their internal world is in conflict. They want to be closer to you, but they can't claim that right just yet. So, they suppress their feelings, and in doing so, they create a silence that speaks volumes. This jealousy may not be loud or dramatic, but it is undeniably present, like a quiet storm that only they are weathering. When you see this behavior, take it as a sign that their heart is already invested in a relationship that hasn't been formally declared yet. Clue 3. They mirror you without realizing it. Mirroring is one of the most subtle yet telling signs that someone is mentally dating you. It's not about mimicry or imitation. It's a natural, subconscious way humans build emotional intimacy. You'll notice they start using the same phrases you do, laughing at the same jokes, and even adopting similar fashion choices. It's as though they're syncing with your rhythm, because, in their mind, you two are already on the same wavelength. Psychologically, mirroring happens when two people feel emotionally connected. Their bodies, without conscious thought, start reflecting each other's movements and habits. If you catch them mirroring you, whether it's a quirky habit or a favorite expression, it's a clear indication that, mentally, they've already formed a bond with you. They're not just copying, they're building a bridge of connection. Clue 4. They look at you like you're already theirs. There's a look. It's a gaze that holds more than just fleeting curiosity. When someone is mentally dating you, their eyes often linger on you just a second too long, as though they're seeing something beyond your physical form. They're envisioning a life they wish they could share with you. That look speaks of unspoken affection and longing, even if they never say a word. Prolonged eye contact is a powerful psychological tool. Studies have shown that it's often linked to emotional desire and affection. If their gaze lingers, and you feel the weight of their attention, it's not accidental. It's their way of communicating feelings they might not be ready to express. That lingering look. It's a silent confession that in their heart, you're already part of their world. Clue 5. They remember everything you say, even the small things. You might have mentioned something in passing months ago, a love for stargazing, a passion for a certain type of music, or a favourite childhood memory. But when they bring it up again, like it was something deeply significant, don't dismiss it. It's not a coincidence. It's an emotional imprint. When someone is emotionally invested, they absorb even the smallest details of your life. These aren't just idle observations. To them, these things matter. They remember because they want to connect with you on a deeper level, treating your words as promises. They're mentally dating you by holding on to the things that you might think are insignificant, but to them, they're gold. They're using these tiny details to build a narrative of closeness in their mind. Clue 6. They fantasize shared futures in conversation. People don't talk about the future unless they're mentally committed to it. So, when they make statements like, "If I ever had someone like you," or "Imagine if we lived in the same city," don't let these comments slide by unnoticed. While they may not be outright declarations of love, they're mentally rehearsing the life they wish they could share with you. This is called future projection, when someone envisions a life with you and tests the waters by introducing it subtly into conversation. It's their way of projecting an emotional reality that they haven't yet built, but desperately want to. These comments may not seem like much, but they're a clue that, in their mind, they've already made space for you in their future. Clue 7. They get nervous around you for no reason. This one is a big tell. They might be confident with everyone else, but when you walk into the room, something shifts. They fidget, their voices tremble, they either talk too much or become strangely quiet. It's almost like they've lost control of their composure around you. But why? The reason is simple. Emotional conflict. They're mentally committed to you, but fear holds them back. Their body betrays them because, in their mind, they're already emotionally invested in you, but they can't act on it just yet. It's the tension of unspoken affection, the feeling of wanting something but being paralyzed by the consequences of pursuing it. If you see this nervousness, it's a sign that they're deeply connected to you mentally, even if they haven't yet fully expressed it. So, when you notice these clues, whether it's the deep dive into your social media presence or the nervous twitch when you're around, remember, these are the signs of someone who is mentally dating you, even if they haven't confessed it. Don't brush them off. Recognize the depth of connection that's already formed in their mind, and understand that the journey to a more formal relationship might just be one conversation away. Keep your eyes open, be aware of these clues, and know that sometimes the heart knows before the lips can speak. You must pay attention to the silent language they're speaking. After all, actions speak louder than words, and these unspoken gestures might just reveal the truth. Section 3. Why people mentally date instead of acting? Why do some people mentally date instead of taking action? Why stay silent when the emotions are so strong? The answer lies deep in human psychology. And it's not about lacking feelings, it's about fear. The fear isn't about you, but about the risks of exposing their heart, the vulnerability of putting themselves out there, and the scars left by past pain. Fear of rejection plays a huge part in this. To confess love is to risk everything: your heart, your dignity, your sense of self. For someone who mentally dates you, their imagination offers a safer space than reality. In their mind, they've already connected with you, already envisioned a future, already built a bond. It's comfortable, it's familiar, and it's secure. But taking that next step into the real world means confronting uncertainty. And in the process, the illusion they've built could shatter, and so might their heart. The very thought of facing rejection can be terrifying, and they might find that staying silent feels far safer than taking a chance on exposing their true feelings. Then, there's the trauma of past experiences. Life doesn't always go the way we hope, and for many, it's left them with emotional scars. They may have loved someone before, but that love wasn't returned. Or they may have been brave enough to put their heart on the line, only to be met with silence, coldness, or even heartbreak. Those painful experiences build walls around their hearts, walls that make it harder to step forward and risk feeling that same kind of devastation again. So when they meet someone like you, someone they care about deeply, they choose to love you quietly, to keep their feelings tucked away in their minds because silence feels like protection, like a shield against the possibility of history repeating itself. It's easier to hide behind mental dating than risk being exposed and hurt again. Low self-worth or insecurity can play a part too. They might genuinely feel they're not enough for you. They look at your confidence, your beauty, your strength, and feel small by comparison. They might feel like they're living in your shadow, constantly doubting their own value. Rather than reach out and risk being rejected or even just being seen, they choose to love you from afar. In their minds, they're worthy of you. They know it. But in reality, they're filled with self-doubt and the fear of being rejected. So they keep their emotions in check, always wondering if they're good enough, never fully embracing the chance to take action because they're not sure they can live up to what you deserve. But here's the truth. Mentally dating isn't a sign of weakness. It's a form of quiet hope, a way of protecting the heart while still acknowledging the depth of feeling. It's a subtle declaration. a whispered "I care for you" that doesn't need to be shouted to be real. It's not a game or a manipulation, it's self-preservation. The person who mentally dates you might seem distant, but in their mind, they've already woven you into the fabric of their life. They're loving you silently, carefully, because they don't know how to do it any other way without risking everything. And sometimes, the ones who feel the most are the ones who speak the least. So, if someone is mentally dating you, don't mistake it for indifference. It's a quiet form of affection, a tender acknowledgement of their feelings without the courage, or perhaps the trust, to take the next step. Don't rush them, don't push them. Instead, understand that love can be complex and multi-layered. What they may lack in words, they make up for in the quiet moments, the subtle glances, the unspoken care they show, and even though they may not be acting, they are feeling, and in their hearts, they are already there with you. It might be a slow journey, but don't give up hope on the possibility of those feelings coming to the surface. Section 4. The emotional and psychological roots of mental dating. Let's take a deeper dive into the emotional and psychological roots behind why some people mentally date instead of acting. This part will explore the unseen barriers, the personal struggles and fears that shape their behavior. First, vulnerability is a terrifying thing for many people. Opening up emotionally and letting someone into your heart can feel like a gamble. And when you've been hurt before, that gamble feels like it's too high a price to pay again. Mentally dating, in this sense, becomes a defense mechanism. It's easier to keep things in your head where it feels safe. But remember, it's not a lack of affection. It's the fear of being vulnerable, of not being able to handle the emotional impact if things don't turn out the way they hope. Past experiences also play a huge role in this. Many people carry with them the emotional scars of relationships that didn't go as planned. They've tried and failed, loved and lost, been rejected or abandoned, and that pain often leads them to build walls around their hearts. This trauma keeps them mentally dating rather than facing the reality of stepping into the unknown. They might fear history repeating itself, so instead of acting, they choose to keep their love in the realm of fantasy, where they can nurture it without the risk of disappointment. You can pull in Stoic philosophy here to highlight how the past, while shaping us, doesn't have to control our future. Stoics understood that we can control our response to events, even if we can't control the events themselves. However, for those who mentally date, the risk of emotional pain can feel too overwhelming to take that first step. Another aspect is self-esteem and the fear of inadequacy. People who mentally date often don't feel worthy of the person they are emotionally attached to. They see qualities in you, confidence, success, attractiveness, that make them feel small in comparison. They believe you're out of their league, so rather than risk the embarrassment of rejection, they build a mental relationship with you where they can remain secure. Their love is real, but it's expressed in a way that feels less threatening to their fragile sense of self. It's easier to live in their imagination, where they're always the hero of their own story, rather than taking the risk of seeing themselves as they think you see them insufficient, flawed, or simply not good enough. Lastly, mental dating often comes from a place of idealization. When someone mentally dates you, they build an image of you in their minds, a perfect version of you that aligns with their hopes and desires. The issue here is that idealization creates an illusion. They've built a world in which you fit perfectly, and stepping into the reality of a relationship means facing the possibility that the real you might not meet their mental picture. This fear of disappointment keeps them emotionally distant, even as their feelings grow. The beauty of idealization is that it's comforting. It allows them to stay in their dream world without the fear of anything ruining their perfect image of you. But in reality, it also prevents them from truly getting to know you, and it's only when they allow themselves to take the leap into real connection that they'll truly discover what a genuine relationship could be. Section 5. The art of transitioning from mental dating to real dating. Now that we've looked at why someone might choose mental dating, the next question is, How can you move from the world of mental dating to a real, tangible relationship? The transition isn't always easy, but it's possible with patience, understanding, and emotional bravery. Start by acknowledging the emotional weight of mental dating. For someone who's mentally dating you, their feelings are very real, even if they haven't expressed them. They've built up this mental relationship, and stepping out of that mental world is daunting. So, what they need isn't just a push, but a safe space to feel comfortable expressing their emotions. You must make it clear that vulnerability is safe with you. Show them that you're not there to judge, criticize, or hurt them, but that you want to build something real together. Take small steps to bridge the gap. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture or an immediate confession of feelings. Start by encouraging open communication. Gently ask questions about their thoughts and feelings, without forcing them to speak before they're ready. Help them trust you with their vulnerabilities, and reassure them that it's okay to take risks in love. Remember, this process will take time. Be patient with them, as they need to trust that you're not going to hurt them. Embrace authenticity. In order to help someone transition from mental dating to real dating, you must both show your true selves. Encourage them to drop the idealized versions of each other and accept the imperfections that come with a genuine connection. As Stoic wisdom suggests, the path to true peace comes from accepting things as they are, not as we imagine them to be. By building upon these sections, your video will have a clear, profound, and insightful message. You'll give your viewers a deeper understanding of the psychology behind mental dating and practical advice on how to recognize it, understand it, and eventually transition into real, meaningful relationships. 5 signs that someone really wants to date you. If you're wondering whether someone truly wants to date you, it's not always obvious, especially when the relationship hasn't been clearly defined yet. However, there are subtle signs in their actions and communication that can reveal if they're looking to take things further. In this article, I will break down 5 important signs that show someone genuinely wants to date you, and why these signs are important in developing a romantic connection. 1. They proactively make time for you. One of the clearest signs that someone wants to date you is that they proactively make time for you. This is more than just casual interactions or bumping into each other by chance. It's about them making a conscious effort to spend quality time with you. This could mean inviting you to events, planning dates, or simply finding ways to be with you. When someone wants to date you, they'll make an effort to fit you into their schedule because they value your company and want to build a connection. For instance, if they start inviting you to hang out with their friends or even suggest intimate one-on-one outings, that's a strong indication that they're interested in moving the relationship forward. They don't just want to see you out of obligation. They genuinely enjoy spending time with you. This proactive effort shows they are invested in building a relationship with you, not just keeping things casual. 2. They show genuine concern and care for you. Another strong sign that someone is interested in dating you is that they consistently show genuine concern and care for you. This goes beyond simple inquiries about your day-to-day life. They remember details, ask about your feelings, and show a deeper level of interest in your well-being. They might check in with you when you're feeling down, ask how your week went, or send you little thoughtful gestures like a text or a small gift, simply because they care. This behavior shows that they are not only thinking about you, but they actively want to make sure you're okay and feel valued. When someone wants to date you, their actions will reflect a level of emotional investment that goes beyond casual acquaintance. They'll remember your likes, dislikes, and the things that matter to you. It's a clear sign that they want to be a supportive presence in your life and build a deeper emotional connection. 3. They share their future plans with you. When someone wants to date you, they will begin to share their future plans with you, and they want you to be a part of them. This is one of the most telling signs that they are serious about the relationship. If they start talking about upcoming vacations, future goals, or events and include you in those plans, it's a strong indication that they're thinking long-term. For example, they might mention wanting to travel together, or they could start talking about their plans for the next few months or years and include you in them. when they see you as a part of their future, it's a clear sign they're not just looking for a fleeting connection, they want something more lasting. This sharing of future plans is a significant step in building a deeper, committed relationship. 4. They create opportunities for physical and emotional closeness. A crucial sign that someone wants to date you is that they make efforts to be physically and emotionally closer to you. This goes beyond just occasional touches or hugs. It's about creating an environment where you can connect on a deeper level. They might initiate hand-holding, give you warm embraces, or find ways to make you feel close, both physically and emotionally. However, physical closeness is just one part. They'll also make an effort to connect with you emotionally by creating a safe space where you feel comfortable opening up. They want to create a bond that goes beyond surface-level interactions, and they're invested in making sure you feel heard and understood. Their actions reflect that they want to build a solid emotional foundation, which is essential for any lasting romantic relationship. 5. They introduce you to important people in their life. Finally, one of the most significant signs that someone wants to date you is that they start introducing you to the important people in their life, such as family, close friends, or colleagues. When someone is serious about a relationship, they'll want you to be a part of their inner circle. They'll feel comfortable bringing you into their social world and letting you meet the people they care about. This is a big step because it shows that they're not just keeping you in the background or as a casual acquaintance. They're ready for you to be part of their life, and they want you to get to know the people who matter to them. Introducing you to their family or friends signals that they view you as a significant part of their life and are comfortable with the idea of others recognizing the relationship. It also suggests that they are considering a long-term future with you, one in which you're involved in the broader aspects of their life. When someone truly wants to date you, their actions will speak louder than words. Signs like making time for you, showing genuine care, sharing future plans, creating opportunities for closeness, and introducing you to important people in their life are all clear indicators that they're interested in building a deeper, more meaningful relationship. These signs go beyond superficial gestures. They reflect a real desire to grow together and develop something long-lasting. Don't ignore these cues, as they indicate that the person is serious about you and wants to build a connection that goes beyond just casual interactions. Bonus clue. They communicate through small, meaningful gestures rather than words. A subtle yet powerful bonus clue that someone may be mentally dating you is that they communicate through small, meaningful gestures rather than openly expressing their feelings through words. You might find them sending you a song they know you'll like, or sharing an article that aligns with your interests without any prompting. Perhaps they've noticed something as simple as your preferred coffee order and surprise you by bringing it to you when you least expect it. While they may never explicitly say how they feel about you, these thoughtful actions speak louder than words and reveal a deeper connection. At first glance, these gestures might seem insignificant or simply friendly acts of kindness, but in the context of mental dating, they become a form of expression for someone who isn't yet ready or able to fully open up. They're creating an emotional bond with you, without taking the risk of a verbal confession. These little acts may feel like minor details, but they are actually emotional investments in the relationship, a way for them to show that they care and are thinking of you, even without saying it out loud. From a Stoic perspective, these small gestures are much in line with the philosophy that advocates for expressing affection through actions rather than words. The Stoics believed that love and care should be shown through tangible actions that reflect one's inner emotions. To them, emotions should not be overexpressed, but instead should be conveyed in a way that reflects wisdom and emotional balance. This approach helps avoid unnecessary emotional drama while still communicating affection and care in a grounded, respectful way. In this context, someone who is mentally dating you might refrain from grand declarations of love or over-the-top romantic gestures because they fear vulnerability or rejection. However, they still seek to express their feelings, and they do so through actions. The act of thinking about you, remembering your likes and dislikes, and following through with these small gestures shows a kind of quiet commitment. It's their way of demonstrating affection while keeping their emotional walls intact. These acts of kindness could range from practical things like helping you out when you're in a bind, to more sentimental gestures like planning something special based on your shared memories. In their mind, they are already nurturing a relationship with you, albeit a mental one. And even though they may not outwardly confess their feelings, these actions make it clear that their interest in you is real, deep, and ongoing. What's crucial here is that these meaningful gestures are an extension of their feelings. Each small act is a way to build intimacy without the emotional risk. When you notice these thoughtful actions, recognize them for what they are, a deeply caring expression of affection that doesn't require words to be understood. It's as if they are mentally dating you, laying down the emotional groundwork in the hopes that, one day, they may be ready to take the next step. If you find yourself on the receiving end of such actions, it's important to appreciate them for their true value. Though the person may not be verbally expressing their feelings, these gestures reflect a quiet devotion, a love that is real but wrapped in protective layers. While they may be mentally dating you, these small, meaningful actions may ultimately serve as a bridge toward a more overt connection. They are paving the way for a relationship that could someday be fully realized, but for now, they're taking it one step at a time. Understanding this from a Stoic viewpoint, you can appreciate that mental dating isn't a sign of emotional weakness or indecision, but rather a deliberate effort to express care in a controlled, meaningful way. Instead of rushing into emotional vulnerability, they are being thoughtful, deliberate, and careful with how they handle their feelings. And while they may not be acting on them yet, their actions speak louder than any words could, revealing the depth of their emotions in a more subtle and profound manner. By recognizing these small but significant gestures, you can better understand someone's emotional state and their readiness for a deeper connection. These thoughtful acts can be a beautiful sign that, even though they might not be ready to fully commit, they are already mentally dating you, loving you quietly, and hoping for the future when they can act on it. So now, you know, someone in your life might already be in a relationship with you in their mind. They may never say it, they may never act on it, but their heart has already chosen you. The signs are there, in the way they look at you, in what they remember, in the silence that feels louder than words. It's quiet, but it's real. Have you ever mentally dated someone without telling them, or felt like someone was silently doing that with you? Tell me in the comments below. I read everyone. Your story might help someone else feel seen. And if you found this video meaningful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This channel is all about psychology, love, and the hidden truths behind human behavior. I'm glad you were here. Until next time, take care of your heart and pay attention to the silence. It often speaks the loudest.